Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show.
Everyone is looking for ways to save a few bucks on their monthly bills. One of the best ways is to make your home more energy efficient. This week, we'll show you how.
Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford, the voice of home improvement, with projects, tips, and ideas to help you improve your home.
The average American family spends between $1,400 and $2,000 a year on home energy costs. Now, if you could save 10, 20, or even 30% of that money, I'll bet you'll be able to find another place to spend that money. I know that I could. Now, it also makes a lot of sense to make your home more efficient because it'll save you money as well as save some of our natural resources. So why don't more people make their home more energy efficient? Well, many homeowners think it's a very complicated process when actually it's very easy to look at the areas of your home that are inefficient and correct those. We'll show you just how to do it on this week's show, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. Now, the first step in making your home more energy efficient is to evaluate the current condition of your home. That means an energy audit. Now, you can hire a professional to take care of this service for you, or you may rely on your local utility service that can provide this service to their customers for free or a nominal charge, or you may just choose to do the energy audit yourself. The first step there is to really concentrate on the one system in the home that uses more energy than anything else, your heating and cooling, that accounts for more than 40% of that monthly bill you have to pay. Now, an evaluation of your heating and cooling system should include making sure that it is working as efficiently as it should and it's sized properly for the size home that you have. Now, after that is in good shape, then get outside and really look around the exterior of your home. Your doors are a source of air infiltration if you have any cracks or if the door itself is in poor condition. Also, windows are very important, that they're good and energy efficient as well as no cracks and in good repair. Now, after that, you also want to look at any hose bibs or dryer vents you have around the perimeter of the home to make sure there's no gaps around any of these. After that, up in the attic needs to be looked at very closely to make sure that it is ventilated properly and it has enough insulation to take care of your house in the region of the country that you live in. Now, after you complete this energy audit, I'm sure there will be a few changes that you find that you'll need to take care of. One change you can easily make is changing your air filter on a regular basis. This is so essential in keeping your air filter clean to have a nice, efficient heating and cooling system. Now, there's a number of things that you can do with your heating and cooling system to keep it running more efficiently. And recently, we talked with a buddy of mine that's a heating and cooling professional. Well, there is a lot to this equipment. You know, everybody's concerned these days about the heating and cooling cost for their home. And with me is heating and cooling contractor Edward Leatherberry. Now, Edward, what can the average homeowner do to their existing heating and cooling equipment to make sure that it's working as efficiently as possible?
Well, Danny, the best thing to do is hire a licensed professional to maintain your heating and cooling equipment. On the heating equipment, to make it more efficient and safe, the semi-annual inspections and cleanings of the system is very important. Cleaning the filter, cleaning the blower wheel and blower motor inside of there, inspecting safety controls, inspecting the burners, cleaning any parts that may need cleaning, and induced draft combustion motors, pressure switches. All of that needs to be tested before you run your heater.
That's a couple times a year to have the professional heating and cooling contractor out for that. Right. I guess they also pay careful attention to the duct work, and that's something really a homeowner can kind of check out themselves.
Right. Duct work is very important because when you're losing air in your attic, you're wasting energy. So the duct system at this home is very tight. It's been sealed with mastic, duct mastic, which is a sealer that's over the tape along the joints, and especially around where the duct branch takeoffs come out. That seals up the airflow and protects the tape that's below it.
Well, I tell you, I've been in a lot of attics over the years, and I've seen where maybe people are using it for storage, like these homeowners are, and someone has stepped on the ductwork or something and broken it open. Regular duct tape just won't do the trick, will it?
No, that won't do it. This is heat activated tape that needs to be on a good clean surface. Once it sticks, it's pretty much going to stay, and the mastic seals it and protects it from the heat of the attic.
Okay. Now, we mentioned the filters earlier, that when you have your servicing done, they'll change those filters, but really a homeowner needs to do that on a regular basis, don't they?
Right. At least check them monthly and change them as needed. Most houses need it monthly, depending on runtime.
Okay. All right. Now, if someone's in a situation where they're building a new home, or maybe extensively renovating their house, or maybe their heating and cooling system has just gone out completely, what do they need to know when they're selecting that equipment with their heating and cooling contractor?
With gas furnaces, they have annual fuel utilization efficiency ratings, AFUE. Northern climates tend to need to use the higher efficiency. The southern climates that don't have the runtime, the higher cost of the 90% equipment sometimes is not feasible, but the efficiency of them and reliability of them is important.
Okay. Of course, I know that the higher efficiency units are going to cost a little more up front, and I guess a homeowner really needs to look at how much money it can save them on a monthly basis to kind of get an idea when they're going to get their money back.
Correct, and that depends on the geographic area where they're located.
Okay, great tips. Now, some more tips, or our simple solution of the week.
It's time for this week's Simple Solution from home repair expert Joe Truini.
These days, everyone is looking for a way to keep dirt from being tracked inside their house.
Well, like most problems, Danny, it's always best to attack it right at the source. In this case, we're going to try to keep the dirt from getting into the house right outside the back door here with a couple of scrub brushes. These are stiff bristle scrub brushes. You can get any home center for about $2 a piece.
And I see you have the plastic type to make them really last.
Yeah, because the wooden ones would eventually rot out or warp being screwed down outside. It's probably always going to stay wet.
Sure.
So the first thing you need to do is remove the handle and then drill 2 3/16" diameter holes in each end, and then attach them. What I'm using is just a 1 5/8" long coated decking screw, because these won't rust and they're easy to put in. Just line it up, drill it right to the top step.
There you go.
Add one more. You only need 2 for a brush head this size. Now, you'll notice I use 2 of these. You could probably get away with just 1 brush head, but I like using 2. As you can see, it's just wide enough for an adult-sized foot, and you should be able to get all the dust and dirt off of your shoe.
I guess after a while, it'll kind of accumulate in there, and
Yep.
I guess all you need then is just to take a hose to clean it all out.
Yeah, you'll get twigs and leaves in there as well. The other nice thing about having them screwed down, if you ever need to replace these because they wear out or you want to fix or paint the step, just unscrew them, pull them up, and put down a new one.
Welcome back to the show. Now, I mentioned earlier how important it is to seal the envelope of your home to prevent air infiltration. Now, air infiltration can really affect the comfort level that you've paid so much for on the inside of your home. Now, even small cracks can make a big difference. Now, you can see a little crack here right by this window, and even though it appears like it's fairly innocent, if you were to take all of the cracks that you have in your home and if you were able to put them together, it could create a nice large hole that will definitely affect your heating and cooling cost. Now, when you have a small crack like this, all you need to do is to take a putty knife, or in this case an old 5-in-1 knife, and just scrape out any of the old caulk that may be in there. Then take a rag or a paper towel or something to just kind of brush out all of the dust that may be in there. Then select a good quality caulking, one that's made for the exterior, and in this case, since originally it was white, we're using a white siliconized type caulking. I'll just apply a very thin bead along here in order to fill up the void, and then just wiping it down to make it look a little more presentable. And you'll just want to look real closely around any windows and doors for any cracks that you may have and seal those up. Very inexpensive to take care of this little energy efficient effort. Now, around the door is another area to look very closely at, particularly the threshold or the weather stripping, and basically if the door fits well inside the frame. Here, a little adjustment or a little replacement of some of these components can seal this area of your home up. Also, other protrusions in your wall, such as maybe a dryer vent or the location of the condenser lines where they come out to your compressor on the outside of your home. This is also an area that a lot of gaps can be present. Sealing all of these up will make a big difference in your home. Now, the quality of your windows and doors also make a big difference in the energy efficiency of the overall structure. Here, the homeowners are very fortunate that they have a double pane insulated window that's fairly good quality, but sometimes when you're remodeling, you want to upgrade the windows, and how do you know if you're getting a good energy efficient window?
Now, regardless of the window frame material, whether it's wood, vinyl, or aluminum, the most important thing is, because a window is 90% glass, is the glass, and you want a dual pane window. That means you've got two pieces of glass in the window. That creates an airspace in the middle, and that airspace acts as a buffer between the outside and the inside, keeping your inside much more comfortable.
Well, Christopher, that has worked real well for these homeowners. This is a sunroom that we built a couple months ago, and the homeowners were originally very concerned about a heat buildup or heat gain inside the room with as many windows and doors and transoms and so forth, but it really hasn't been a problem at all, so the glass is working.
That is what's working, but in addition to that, you can put a low E coating on the glass. Now, what that does is it kind of filters the sun's rays out. There are two different types of low E's. One you can use in the north that allows some of the sun's heat to come through. That way you get free heating from the sun in the winter. Then there's a southern version which kind of reflects the sun's heat back out of the house. So you want to keep it cool inside and keeps the sun and the heat outside.
So it sounds like that's an important consideration, the double pane glass, plus, if you can afford it, the low E glass or low E coating inside that.
Correct. And it's really not that expensive. When you look at the energy savings you're going to have, it pretty much pays for itself.
Okay. Now, why has vinyl windows gotten so popular? I mean, I'm seeing them on sunrooms like this, as well as a lot of pretty substantial homes. What's the big advantage?
Big advantage is it's second to only wood in thermal efficiency, because in addition to vinyl being a very low conductor of heat, unlike aluminum, which is a higher conductor of heat, it also has a bunch of air spaces in it, just like the airspace in the glass, keeping the hot air on the outside and the cool air on the inside.
Okay, now what about cost? We talked about other wood frames with wood or clad or aluminum. How does this kind of compare?
Vinyl's less expensive than wood, so it is, as I said, energy efficient, less expensive, but even then within vinyl you can find some more expensive vinyl windows and some less expensive vinyl windows.
Okay, well these are also with the maintenance-free aspect of it, making these homeowners a lot happier. Hey, we have a lot more tips for you coming up on how to save energy around your home.
Let's join Danny at the Home Center to check out this week's best new product.
Over the last few years, some of the most popular tools on the market have been 18-volt cordless tools. Many homeowners have discovered how successful their home improvement projects can be without even breaking out the electrical cord. Well, get ready for the 28-volt tool system that's just been introduced from Milwaukee Tools. Now, what Milwaukee has done is they've used a lithium-ion battery, which will give you up to 40% more power than you get from the 18-volt systems, and it'll last up to twice as long in between charges, all without adding any weight to the battery at all. And look at these tools. There's no toys in this bag. This is a combo kit that's available: a nice heavy-duty drill, a work light, a circular saw, and a version of their famous reciprocating saw. Also, battery charger and an extra battery. Now, Milwaukee has been so successful with this technology, it's allowing them to introduce tools that traditionally were not available in a cordless tool line, such as a rotary hammer drill and a portable bandsaw. Welcome back to the show. We mentioned earlier how important it is to seal the envelope of the home so that you can make your home more energy efficient. Well, most of that work needs to take place on the outside, but here on the inside at the location of your attic stairs can also be a big source of air infiltration and can really affect your heating and cooling bill. A couple ways to seal this opening off. One is to take a foam weather stripping that you may use around doors or windows and install it right along the perimeter where the door of the attic stairs folds up against the opening. This will seal off a lot of that air infiltration. Now, I've seen some other contraptions where people have taken foam board or insulation itself and tried to position it over the attic stairs. Sometimes that can really be a mess, but we found something that should solve this problem. This is an attic tent which seals and insulates the attic stair opening. They're sized to fit common attic door openings and install pretty easily. We begin by sealing the perimeter of the stair frame with caulk and expanding foam for some of the larger gaps. Then we spread the tent over the opening and begin attaching it around the perimeter using a regular staple gun. It's important that the tent is properly positioned so that the zipper opening is at the hinge end of the attic door. This will allow for easy access in and out of the attic. And then when we walk back down the stairs, we simply flap it back over, zip it up, and it should do a real effective job in saving a little bit of energy for these homeowners. Now while you're up in the attic, you may want to look around and see if there's some other changes that may be needed. Some of those changes may include adding insulation to your home, but how much do you need in your home? Well, at your home center you'll find several different charts like this that will show your region of the country and the recommended R value for your attic wall or floor space. Now the R value is your heat resistance value, and that's an indicator of exactly how much insulation you need. Now, if you don't have any insulation in your walls, that's the hardest one to add to it. Now, a standard there would be around R13. In some of the colder parts of the country, that may go up a little bit. But it is hard to add to an existing wall unless you're doing a little renovation where you remove some of your interior walls. And by all means, add as much insulation as you can while those walls are open. But if you're doing some remodeling on the exterior of your home, you may be able to add some of the foam sheets that range from 1/2 inch to 3/4 to 1 inch thickness. Here you can obtain an R value from 2.5 up to R5. That can really make a difference in your energy bill in kind of controlling the cold air or warm air around the perimeter of your home. But attic insulation will make the most difference in your energy bill than just about anything else. If you don't have any insulation at all, then you'll need this type. That's a craft face, and you'll want to turn the paper or the craft facing down towards the living area, and then that'll take care of insulating your attic. If you already have some insulation, then you'll use an unfaced type of bat that you can roll out right over the top of the existing insulation. Now, most people are familiar with fiberglass, but also there's another type of insulation called cellulose. It's basically a recycled newspaper material that's treated with a flame retardant. Now, cellulose won't irritate your skin like fiberglass insulation can, so many homeowners prefer using this when adding insulation to their attic. Also, many of the home centers will rent you the blowing equipment necessary to blow the cellulose in your attic for a very reasonable amount. Blown or loose fill insulation is a real popular choice for insulating your attic. It really can be blown in very easily, and it fills all of the cracks and crevices you may have in your attic, and you're able to obtain the R value that you really need for your part of the country, and that is very important. Hey, stay with us. We have a lot more tips to share with you.
Let's head outside for Around the Yard with lawn and garden expert Tricia Craven-Worley.
Tricia, what are you doing here? Macrame?
Well, I have studied macrame a little bit, but this is not macrame. Actually, Danny, this is such a simple tip that I just love.
Here, let me help you a little bit there.
Okay, if you'll hold that.
What are you
This is creating a very simple transportable trellis.
Oh, okay.
See, all I'm doing is I have this stake, which is what, about 6 inches long.
Right.
Drove it into the ground, and I'm just winding this string back and forth against this fence.
Okay.
Now, what's nice about it is it's very low tech, very inexpensive, and at the end of the season, you can either cut it off, leave it there, or just, you know, take it down and reuse it again.
And you're planning on planting some type of vine or something
Well,
here?
actually, I think there are a lot of different things that you could plant here. I pulled this out from another part of the garden. It's a beautiful jasmine.
Oh, it sure is.
Isn't this pretty? And I could plant a jasmine vine that would grow up here. Also, you could plant sweet peas that would do very well against a trellis like this. And what I like about it is it's a little bit different than the typical trellis that is straight up against the fence. You know, this has a little bit of body. So something as beautiful as a jasmine, you can really enjoy all of the blossoms, and it's really a fun thing to do.
Oh, that's a great addition to the garden. This week we've looked at a number of things, both big and small, to help you save energy around your home. Here's some more. Your water heater is a big energy user, so consider turning the temperature down just a few degrees, and remember to drain your water heater at least once a year to reduce the sediment, which will make it a lot more efficient. Put a few of these ideas together and it'll slow this meter down, which means your monthly bills will go down as well. I'm Danny Lipford. Hope to see you next week.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around, and continue the home improving fun.